Hi, Bill McGuire here from Tutor One again. Today we're going to continue with moving around or navigating around your computer. We're going to go down to the Start menu. Now we have a list of menu items that gives us some options to move around our computer. Up at the top we've got My Documents. There's also an icon on the desktop. We talked about that last time. I can click on that. I'm going to enlarge that by clicking the little box in the middle up at the top right hand corner. And I'm going to go to My Pictures. Double left click on it. This is where most photo processing programs will by default store any pictures that you download onto your computer. If they get stored somewhere else, you can redirect them here. You can see that if you save some pictures to your computer, can't find them, this is where you're going to find them. Likewise, iTunes, various other things will save your files to your music folder. I'm going to go deeper. Okay. Now, how the heck did those files get there in the first place? Well, some of them are default on your computer. So, for example, My Documents comes pre-created when you have your XP, your Vista, or your Windows 7 program. They're already there. But again, I'm going to hover my mouse somewhere in the middle of my desktop. Doesn't really matter where. I'm going to right-click this time. Down here, about 3/4 of the way down, you'll see something that says New. I hover my mouse over New. It says Folder. I'm going to left-click on Folder. I've got a new folder up there. Well, what do I want to do with that? Suppose I want to download and save a bunch of my favorite recipes, or recipes that are going to become my favorites when I find out how good they are. Recipes. I just typed in with my keyboard the name recipes in the blued out area. But sometimes if I hit a key by mistake after I've created the file, I won't be able to do that. Let's try that. So I'm going to right click, go down to New, create a folder. Whoops, I hit my mouse by mistake. Now I can't type in the new name. It just says New Folder. What do? Well, I hover my mouse over New Folder. I right click and go down all the way to Rename. I left click on Rename. Now I can retype a name in there. And that will be probably meatloaf recipes. Now I don't want to clutter up my desktop too much, so I probably want to put that somewhere else other than on my desktop. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to take various recipes that I download off the internet or that I type into my word processing program, which I'll open up right now actually. How did I open that? I just left clicked on text. It opened up a blank document. And I typed in recipe. Then I went up to File in the top left hand corner. I left clicked on it. I said Save. I clicked on Save. I named it Spanish Meatloaf. Just by typing it in. I went to the desktop. I left clicked on the desktop, pardon me, and I see a list of all my file folders. Down here's one that says recipes. Well, I'm going to double left click on that. I'm going to hit save. It's now saved in the folder. At least it will be when the little hourglass disappears. Okay, now I can close it down. It's gone. I go to Meatloaf Recipes. I left click on it. Didn't work. What happened? I didn't double left click on it. There, I double left clicked on it this time. And then I waited. Now I'm going to double click on recipes. Double left click on recipes. Well, there it is. There's my Spanish meatloaf. But like I said earlier, I don't want this recipe thing cluttering up my desktop. I'm already cluttered enough on the desktop. So I want to put it somewhere else. I'm going to go into My Documents. I'm going to double left click on that. I'm going to go to Bill's Documents. And son of a gun if I don't have a file folder called Recipes hidden there. Okay, I'm going to double click on that. It's open. Okay, I'm going to go back now. Okay, there's a couple ways I can do that. I can hit this little box in the middle. That's going to minimize that. If it's not small enough, I can just make it a little smaller, like that. I can right-click and place my cursor, my pointer, on the top bar, and as I hold the left button of my mouse down, I can move it around wherever I want. Now in this case I actually placed the meatloaf recipe in the file folder called recipes. I'm going to get rid of my meatloaf recipe by right-clicking on it again, going down to delete. Do I want to remove that folder and remove all its contents to the recycle bin? Yes, I do. Okay, I'm going to click on recipes. Again, double left click. There's my Spanish meatloaf. Okay, that's good. Now, that should be my meatloaf folder. So I'm going to right click. I'm going to go down to rename. And I'm going to say, I'm going to type in meatloaf recipes. I'm going to click my cursor anywhere so that finalizes that. I'm going to put the cursor right over top of the little file folder that says meatloaf. I'm going to left click and hold it down. Now I can move it around anywhere I want. I'm going to move it around. I'm going to place it right over top of recipes. That's gone. I'm going to hit the little box in the middle of my Bill's documents. It's going to fill the whole screen. I'm going to double click on that, and there's my meatloaf recipes up there. So now whenever I get a meatloaf recipe, I can just move it into this particular file folder. Okay. Now as it happens, I don't have a bunch of meatloaf recipes, so I'm just going to get rid of that for now. I right click, go down to delete. It's gone. So you're probably getting the idea that it's pretty easy to delete things. It's also pretty easy to move things around. You can create things on your desktop, move them around to whatever file folder you want. And you can nest folder within folder within folder. So let's do a little bit of that. Okay, I'm going to create a folder here called, well, how did I do that? Again, I right clicked, went down to new, went up to folder, clicked, I've got a new folder. I'm going to right click. I could have done that in one step, but I click something in between, go down to rename. I'm going to type in, let's see, how about nesting? Okay, so I'm going to open up that folder by double left clicking on it. Now I can right click inside this folder, create a new folder, or I could simply have gone up to the left hand side of my window here, clicked on make a new folder, and there's another new folder. So what am I going to do? Well, let's rename the first new folder again. Right click, go down to rename, and put in first level. Guess what? I'm going to rename the second folder. I'm going to right click on it and rename it second level. And I think I'll make another new folder. I'll make another new folder too, and without touching anything, I'll immediately type in third level, go back to new folder here, right click on it, rename it fourth level. So now I can arrange things like I arrange a file cabinet, or I can organize things. Inside the first level folder, I'm going to put the second level folder. I think I'm going to load the other folders in there just for convenience, because what I'm going to do now is open up the first level folder, and I'm going to load the third level inside the second level. I'm going to move the fourth folder in there just for fun, because what I'm going to do is take the fourth folder and put it inside the third level. So now we're going nesting. How have I got my things organized? Well, here I might have whatever I've got in the first level. I double click on it, there's the second level. Double click on it, there's the third level. Double click on it, there's the fourth level. So close that down. Might move nesting to wherever you want by going up to here, up to my documents, up to Bill's documents, up to dogs. Go up to the middle button so I can make the window smaller so I can play around with it. Go up to the top of the little window I've got there, press down my left mouse button, hold it, move it over. Again, I'm going to hover the mouse over top of nesting. I'm going to press down my left click button and hold it. I'm going to move that into my dogs menu. And there we have it, nesting dogs. I'm going to close that down. Go to start, go to my click on Bill's documents. I'm going to click on dogs, and there it is, nesting. So practice organizing using these file folders. Create file folders, nest them within one another. Have fun with it. Play with it till you're really comfortable with it. This is Bill McGuire from Tutor One. We'll see you again. Bye-bye.